Hey, you're watching GEEKCASTER, his part two. We're talking about uh, where we're at as far as AI and the vibration of the technology. Okay, go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, so allowing everybody to make their own narratives, you're going to get the same effect that you have on the internet. You're going to get the same results that you have when Twitter was its thing in the wild, wild west, and you just had people posting whatever. It's like you're gonna have some interesting stuff, some creative stuff, and then you're gonna have a lot of memey, stupid, rage baity stuff that's just trying to push the envelope to see what it can do and in what capacity. Knock yourselves out if it means that there are fewer writers, there are fewer designers, directors, whatever, there are elements that are incorporated in creating like a project like that. Those can go to the wayside. We'll see what we get. But I'm telling you now, when people start getting the stuff that offends them, it's all good and creative now, but when someone makes the Superman that wants to do an ethnic cleansing,
Right.
and we give them the freedom to do that, I'm like, okay, let's see. This is the freedom that we wanted with this. Let's see what happens. And then when people get pissed off and want to be offended, shut it down. Like y'all wanted this stuff, right? So,
Shut it down.
shut it down. That offended me. I'm like, all right, well, this is what you vouched for, though. People were going to bat for this. It is what it is. So bring the chaos. I'm with it. I'm not against it. I'm saying let's see what happens. Super villain Drew. Let's see what happens.
That's just one part of it, though.
What happened? What happened, Court?
I said that's just one part of it, though. Whenever you talk about these things, about the unknown, obviously fear is always going to be the main talking driving point. But then when you can't talk about the innovation because it hasn't happened yet. And when you do see it, you're like, oh, even the designers or the people who created this or the originators who wanted to go in this direction didn't even think this was possible. And now all of a sudden we're on a completely different trajectory. So that's all I'm saying is like, yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong, but there's also a lot that can also go good. And we're only focusing on everything that can go wrong. We haven't even focused on the good things because we don't know what it looks like because it hasn't happened yet. That's all I'm saying.
I suppose I still think that when things go wrong, just objective reality, when things go right, a few people care. When things go wrong, everybody's paying attention. What gets more voice? What gets more screenplay? Peace or chaos?
Well, it could be peace. It could be both. Just like the internet, right? You have a whole bunch of .coms that obviously ruined the economy. But now, out of the good thing, everyone can't live without Amazon. So it's like, what's the...
But actually, that just builds to... I don't think... I hear what you're saying, Corey, but that just kind of proves at least my cynicism towards humanity because, Amazon has helped in some psychological way of like, oh, I can get what I want. I can get what I want faster. I can just put it in and get what I want, right? But in the big picture, Amazon's success has hurt society. It has hurt, destroyed local business. Well, not destroyed, but it's definitely hurting. In fact, I'm about to do something. I guess I'll leave it for later conversation, another show. But there's so many local businesses that are struggling just because they can't compete with Amazon.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but that's a terrible thing.
We could get it's
not terrible though.
Well, my thing about it is this: to Corey's point,
right?
It's like you have the news. 9:00 news comes on.
Right.
It's mostly blood, chaos, and mayhem. But here's some puppies too. At the end of the report, here's some puppies just to kind of alleviate that. People aren't tuning in for the puppies. People mostly are tuning in for the puppies. That's all I'm getting on is that give it a try. Let's see what happens. But there will be the madness.
Yeah, there will
it's
be
foolish
madness.
To think that it'll be peace and everyone will be creative and happy. No, it's going to be mostly dog excrement, the dog excrement and bull effery. I'm trying to cut the effery that you normally see with people online when it comes to memes and I need to go viral. Let me post this fight video. Let me post someone getting jacked up. It's going to be mostly that. And then you get some creative stuff and then some cute, wholesome, for the fam stuff. It'll be a mixed bag, but that bag will be mostly napalm and bullcrap.
The negative, the napalm and bullcrap will always be there, but they don't change the direction of society or technology. I'm just saying, like, whatever you.
Well, let
let me
ask you this, Corey, because you are very much an optimist, and I'm
Yeah, very
digging
much
it.
so.
I'm
You
digging
love
it.
people, bro.
I'm
You
only
love
using like
people,
history.
Corey.
I'm just saying.
Well,
This is exactly how history has gone.
well, you know
Because
what?
if you think about it,
Go
think about
ahead.
like automation, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we were in industrial era, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was like, "Oh, we're not going to have regular jobs. All these machines are going to come and take over the workforce." And you know what they did? And it changed the workforce for the better because society moved on from a lot of diseases and a lot of deaths that were, plaguing the industrial era, moving into the automation zone. And now we're in AI, technology, internet, right? A lot of jobs are going away, which is what you guys are saying, which is the fear, right? But the change that hasn't happened yet, that we're probably on the precipice of seeing, is going to create a whole new workforce, a whole bunch of jobs that we haven't seen before. So either you stay up to date or you get left behind. It's just history. It's always been that way, and it's always going to continue that way.
I've heard this argument.
Regardless.
Mhm.
Yeah, the pros are nice and all that, but when it comes to what guides people more, is it for the sake of humanity and progress, or is it because we're making money? We're gonna make more money.
It's both.
So,
If you missed out,
what's more the emphasis?
What's more the emphasis? Get in early, because if you were in the dot com era early, you made your money, right? And because that bubble was already created, you couldn't get
Hold on,
that
Drew.
era.
I got this, Drew.
Now
I got this.
Now
one.
Amazon came in. Everybody used Amazon, right? The regular person could create their own e-commerce, and it opened a lot more doors for regular people that were previously closed. So we use the internet completely different than before.
So I know where to go with this. I gotta ask you a quick question, Corey. Do you consider yourself a capitalist?
Now we're getting no, actually I don't.
Okay.
I don't consider myself a capitalist.
Because your argument at the end of the day lands on capitalism. But anyway, so
if you think about everything,
because
it's all the same. Capitalist, socialist, it's all the same.
No, it's not. But yeah, I would say
after the show.
After the show, yeah, because there's some things I was like, I don't even want to put that out. We'll talk after the show. But I would say this, because I'll go in and be like, "Tag 7. Oh, I didn't even know." No, so I would say this. I've heard this argument for maybe the last 2 years of how this is great and people are just functioning in fear and they need to embrace this. And just remember in history with the Industrial Revolution, everyone really loves to just go back to the Industrial Revolution to justify AI. The problem with that is that with the Industrial Revolution, it created space for people to be able to spend time with their families. It created a space for people to enjoy sports and create leisure. But the technology of the time did not X people out. So yeah, you weren't able to hold on. You weren't able to grind the machine or beat it with a hammer or whatever like that. But now you had a machine. So you had to learn how to run the machine, right? You had to learn other jobs. And even if, we need less people to grind the machine, but the people that are grinding the machine also need food. So yeah, you're not going to work and grind the machine, but you're gonna make food because the person grinding the machine needs food. Oh, well, the person that grind the machine is making more money, so now he could buy and build a house. Oh, well, I can't work and grind the machine, but now I'm going to build a house. You see, I could just keep going how like someone grind the machine actually did create other jobs and other spaces. You can't, AI is not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
AI is,
because
it's taking people out of, like, there's no, like, and also, like, I think people are really kind of ignorant with AI because we're getting hit with AI so much. Like, we all know the next step. The next step is the robots. So you don't need people. So you're not really, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's
Well,
the whole
actually,
point,
yeah,
though.
it's
That's
funny because when people go on this whole "it's the new frontier," it'll create so many other jobs. I'm like, not when the idea is let's take the autonomy away from the human, have a machine do it, and then we have the robot that can also facilitate that. We won't need the physical component of the people there at all. So the Industrial Revolution argument and the AI argument are two different things.
Two different
It's
things,
not
yeah.
the same joint. When you have AI take over 80% of the work infrastructure and 80% of that human infrastructure are now asked out and have no jobs, it's not, well, we just figure out what the next big innovation is that we can get people working. It's not how that's going to work. When you get to Seven's point, when you have robots that are serving burgers, I'm going to be real. I don't want a human touching my burger if there's a robot that'll do it. If he can do it efficiently, make sure he doesn't spit on it or have his germs on it because they wanted to go out partying and doing whatever last night, yeah, let the Betty bot make my burger. And then that's going to be one less job that a person gets. So it's not the same thing in my opinion.
It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery
It's a
slope.
slippery slope. But again, what I was saying with the Industrial Revolution is you're looking at it from one part. And the big thing that people forget about the Industrial Revolution is a sense of community. You had more than one. All right, if the person who was grinding the meat, you had support, you had a structure. It didn't just fall on you, right? You had a whole family, you had
Okay,
everything
yep.
to support you, right? So now that we are in the internet era or age, you can do one thing by yourself and just work from the computer. And I guess now that's like the whole sense of society is individualism. You don't need support, you don't need anything. All you need to do is just have that one thing and you'll be fine. The robots are taking over. You're not going to have a job, but you need to have some sort of residual income that's going to support your lifestyle. You don't need to work. You don't need to do anything because the robots are going to do it. You just need to be you, your creative self, and live your life, right? That's the idea that everyone is
Well, that's the thing
perpetuating.
about that, Corey, is no one's going to pay you a livable wage. This ties into the thing we were talking about before the show. No one's going to pay you a livable wage to just do you and be creative and then make up stuff on your daily time.
Why?
Most
Because
people can't.
That doesn't exist right now.
Most
Right?
people can't. Most people, if you went to AI today, most people would crash and burn, not be able to pay their damn rent. Most people don't have the ability to just go online and just art their way. I'm going to sit there and follow my passion and get paid a livable wage and have kids on top of it, because that's what I was talking about before. Having kids on a livable wage is not just a thing that you just go out and just do. It's not just ready-made for people nowadays.
Right.
You got to grind 2-3 jobs just to make ends meet in most cases. And a single AI job when no other jobs are available is not going to do it. It's just not.
Again, because it's changing. It hasn't really, like I said, we're on the precipice of change. We've understood the internet has done a lot of terrible things, just like the Industrial Revolution has done a lot of terrible things. But there's going to be good that comes out of it. That was my whole point, right?
I hope so. I mean, listen, Corey, if you were running for president, I vote for you, not because I think you could do the job, but because I think you're so positive that maybe that might inspire the rest of the planet to change. And like, I don't know what to tell you. Because this is the thing.
Your Gryffindor is definitely Gryffindoring, Corey. I'll say that.
I'm like,
I believe in the spirit of the people. My thing is, what hasn't changed, though, to your point, what hasn't changed? Taxes, bills, DWP, the cost of going to the grocery store.
Right.
Like, none of that's changed, and it doesn't care about innovation. It just cares how much can you pay. Can you pay that $8.99 for a thing of orange juice? No. Keep it pushing. But I work from home, and I do my AI job and follow my heart. Like, that's okay. Go see if you can broke your way into your next meal. Like, go figure it out.
I think that also the elephant in the room when we talk about the history and where things are going, let's look at the past, let's look at the future, and let's look at the past, and no, we need to look towards the future. And I think that people aren't looking at the reality of today, right? Because there are people that are struggling. I mean, right now,
That's not true.
People need food. People need guidance. People need education. People need a chance. There are people that also need mental evaluations. There's a huge problem with mental issues, emotional issues, and how do we get these individuals jobs? How do we get them? Like a job is not just so you can pay for the house or food or the apartment or the condo or whatever or the car. It's also a sense of pride in living that, oh, what do you do? Well, I do fill in the blank. No matter what it is, whether it's just making paper clips, there is like this spiritual, psychological thing about having something that you bring to value to society, for yourself and for the community. So my point is landing on this. Past the needs, which we obviously have a huge problem if we keep implementing AI and robots. You are cutting opportunities for individuals. Yes. Oh, but they're making life better. But for who? For those that can afford it. You're making life better for those that can afford it. You're not making them.
That bought in early, like you were saying before, Corey.
Bought in
bought in on the .coms early. You're good. If you're not, you're kind of screwed, aren't you? You got to get out there and do that 9 to 5.
Right. But guess what? If there's no 9 to 5, there's a section of society that will not only not be able to afford to have a good, fair shake at the pursuit of happiness, right? But in addition, they will be missing that primal thing of pride of adding to your life, those around you, and the community that is necessary. Like it's psychologically, emotionally, spiritually necessary. And so the thing is, it's like, and it's funny because AI a lot of times is positioned, obviously anti-music. Oh, nobody really cares. Oh, AI songs, and now it's hitting towards, well, graphics. Actually, hit graphic people first, then music, and then movies. No one really cares. No one's at uproar because if that's not your industry, oh well. But hold on to your hats, kiddies. It's only going to be a year or two from now when like thousands of people are fired.
Yeah, within a decade, when you start having the blue collar jobs are gone, and you can't be a barista at Starbucks, and you can't sling a burger, that's when we're going to get into what you call like the deep-ish territory where people are going to, and unemployment's going to go up, desperations are going to get high, bills aren't going to stop because those never change, and it's next where, okay, how do you like, fix this new scenario that human condition is now in. Halfway disagree with you, Seven, on this one. What you were saying before, it's more the argument of purpose with people. Mm-hmm. You wake up, you do the job that you have to do to keep your lights on and food in your fridge, and then there's what you like to do, what you think gives you purpose. Mm-hmm. What you think gives you, like, that fulfillment that you get of being an active member of your community and whatever.
Right.
People can't do that now. People have job opportunities now. They can't do that now. They still have that struggle of purpose. Like I think in Fight Club, it's like the big war. We don't have we do have an actual war, but it's the idea that the great war that we have in our generation is the spiritual and mental one. Where what is my purpose? What is my place? What is my purpose? Rare people can do that. Follow your passions and all that good stuff, but also make sure you can pay your bills. When it comes to the AI junk, it can create, it can generate stuff, but it can't quite fine tune things.
Well, I won't put. Well, Drew, I'll say it this way. I mean, obviously, we know each other, so I'm not going to put your stuff out there on the street. But I'll say it this way: you're ridiculously creative, right? And you work, you do your thing, and obviously, if there's a way where your drone, your robot, whatever it's called, can do all the things you don't want to do, so that way you could make these, whatever that is, you would gladly do that. The thing is, AI is and the way that they're marketing and pushing it so hard, only because a bunch of jerks are making money from it, is that when they can do this, it just makes the opportunity and the space for those that have found their passion. They know exactly what they want to do. They're doing it, but you're making it harder and harder for them to keep a roof over their head, to put gas in the car and stuff like that. And that's all I'm saying. Like we're making it harder for people to pursue their passions now. And this is where I asked earlier about, Corey, are you a capitalist and it's funny, Drew, that you quickly said, are you a socialist? Because if we all were able to come to the table and say, listen, we're all human beings, like we all want to be happy, everybody gets a house or a shack or whatever it is. Everyone gets to this, everyone gets to that, and guess what? The robots will do all the other things. Everyone, do whatever makes you happy. Like, if that was a magical world where everyone,
Oh, this is if we gave everyone $1 million scenario.
kinda, you know what I mean?
I remember having a conversation with you about that. Yeah, if you took care of everyone's immediate needs and gave everyone $1 million and said, here's your house, here's $1 million, go make your life, follow your passions. Most people are going to be broke within that same year. And then you need to have a job anyway. So the thing is, okay, what sustainable income can people have to where they can maintain their lifestyle and still have time to do the societal purpose of your community, all that stuff.
Right.
AI, for all we know, there may be an AI technician job that opens up soon, and then you have people that can go in, whatever your field is, if it's writing, if it's music, if it's underwater basket weaving, if it's baking cookies, right? You could train your AI to be better at giving instructions on that job. That's just, a potential idea, maybe. Those who get in, cool. You're doing your thing. You're paying your bills and you're doing your passion at the same time. Everybody else, you're just relegated to a consumer. And when there's no jobs, you can't really buy anything, so you can't be a consumer. So then what's the next step?
Right.
Just steal it. We're just going to go out here and just raid, y'all. Do what you got to do. Needs must when the devil drives. It's like it becomes, like you were saying, it's a slippery slope.
I guess that's the other false narrative, right? Everyone thinks jobs are going to go away. I never said jobs are going to go away. I said they're going to change. It's going to be different because you don't see it. And you can go way back before the industrial age.
Corey, stop. Because you know why?
No.
Corey, there are people that do not have jobs now. There are people that do not have jobs. The technology didn't change yet, and there are people that are suffering now. As it goes forward,
right.
You know what? I'll say it this way. You know what? And Drew, I'm gonna put a little extra to something that you said. And I think you're wrong. It's not gonna hit the fan until we don't need doctors no more. When we don't need lawyers no more. When we don't need Congress and the Senate anymore. When we don't, it's like,
possible. Yeah.
Right. All the people that are making all the money.
No, I hear you. When it's
the
upper echelons, now it's going to be a problem. It wasn't a drug issue when it was in the poor neighborhoods, but now the little Timmy in the suburbs is getting flurries of it. Now it's an issue. I hear you on that one, Seven. Maybe. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be. It could, because it'll go all the way up to that high, and then when the AI bot can litigate an entire case, and the lawyers are no longer getting jobs, now people will care.
Right. 100%.
I hear you there.
We're acting like there were never people without jobs doing all these other changes throughout history. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's always been there. Like, why are we focusing on it now? And if you look at the general economists who looked at the past, then they're not saying, oh, this is where we're going in the future. We're looking at how do we get here? And the trend of how we got here, it's always been the same. You've always had people who didn't have jobs. You always had the people who are in the top, people in the middle, and people who suffered at the bottom. You've always had that through every change, right? This is no different.
It's just more stark now, bro. We don't even have a middle class anymore.
It's more stark because now we know more. We're at the age of technology.
We know more. When you say know more, that seems like kind of a general term. Most people are idiots, so no. It's like when you say people, we know more now. They know how to use the technology. They don't know where it comes from. We
were way closed off before. Like, people didn't have access to books 100 years ago, and there were only certain circles of certain information that was shared. Now we are more connected than we ever have been, so we know a lot more now across the board. That's what I meant by not an intellectual standpoint.
I think that most people, when you come to the average person, someone who is into reading, even moderately, someone who's into reading, into news, into current events, the people like that read every day and stuff like that, they have access to that crap 24/7. Most people do not do this. You're framing a narrative of the average person that is not the case. They go online to look up what's her name? Sabrina Carpenter and memes and stuff. They don't use it to learn or gain knowledge. So across the board, intelligence hasn't risen. It's more accessible.
It actually has. People stop reading, but because of Audible, now you can listen to a book instead of reading it. You can do multiple things.
You have to have the luxury. You have to have the luxury. Like someone, I just spoke to someone the other day, and they were like, "Oh man, you got to check out all these books. Read this." Like, I want to use a word I can't use on the show. I want to be like. I ain't got no time to sit there to read the joy of thinking of positive thoughts. Like, really? No, I need to make money, bro. Like I can't sit there.
Well, that's the big conundrum. That's like kind of the big thing. You have access to it, but it's the big expenditure nowadays is time.
Right.
It's money, but it's also your time. You can spend the time to sit up there and read something, and you can have an Audible play while you're doing your work, which is what I do. Shout out Audible.
Right.
But like, when you then have AI that runs everything, and that's not a room, it's not a field that they're going to give humans anymore. Right. It's not a matter of that job is changing. It's that job just no longer is a thing. Right. You're not going to have baristas anymore that are flesh and blood. Now they're going to be robots. That field is dead because it saves the company money, which is the real emphasis. So it may not be all great, all doom and gloom. It may not be an Andrew vision, right. But
that's what I was saying.
It ain't gonna be, we're in a brand new. It's the Star Trek Enterprise. Everyone is positive and using all their knowledge for the good of humanity. That's not most people. Most people aren't gonna be in that position. They're not gonna have that type of mindset.
Right. But they're still gonna have their source of income because, again, like you said, they're still gonna be consumers. Like these robots are making drinks for somebody. It's not just gonna be
those that can afford it. Those that can afford it. That's the thing.
Everybody else, if you can't afford that $6 for the coffee, then who cares?
Is it fear? Okay, all right.
That's just objective reality.
Now, how many?
You remember the coffee? You're not going to be a consumer.
Okay. Did you guys ever watch the show? What was it? Seth MacFarlane came up with called The Orville.
Yeah.
His Star Trek spinoff.
Yeah.
Not spinoff, but it's like spoof of it kind of. I know he was watched it.
Yeah, he was like, we finally reached an age in society where monetary value wasn't a thing. You can literally just go off, do your own thing, and it became more universally accepted, and people found purpose and happiness and fulfillment by doing the job that they wanted to do and not worry about wages and having a place to live. Well, maybe we're moving towards that.
So you're a socialist.
Maybe that's
you're a socialist. Are you a socialist, Corey?
Huh?
Are you a socialist, Corey?
I think socialism makes a lot more sense than capitalism, but I'm not anything.
Now, the problem with that is the tech guys and gals pushing all this stuff are not saying we're doing all this to create this thing. Also, the thing is, the only reason why, let's say Bezos or the one with the electric car, the racist dude, or all these individuals. Oh, allegedly, right? Got to say allegedly, right? Legally, right? But the thing is like they're only rich because other people are considered poor. So there's no advantage for these individuals to really create anything substantial that actually helps society. If you notice, everything that they work on, and the reason why they're so successful is because they're parasites on society. It doesn't mean it's evil. I'm just saying, like, they make a bunch of money because it's filling some sort of need or requirement or getting to a point where someone has a job. So the thing is like, you would have to take the richest people in the world saying, you know what, I don't need to have all of this. I am good forever. My kids are good forever. I could take a certain percentage of my wealth, or society needs to say, let's restructure this concept of wealth and throw all that to it's almost like saying, I got $5 billion. Well, society says, we don't use that for trade anymore. Now you're broke. And we could do that. Like, we do have the power.
It has happened.
Huh?
It has happened.
It has happened in history, yes. So to have this magical world where everyone benefits with this, we'd have to restructure how we look at money and exchange and how we function. It's the only way.
It's not the heart of a concept, though. It's not the heart of a concept.
It's okay. You know what you're reciting, Corey? Those are the lyrics from Imagine. That is John Lennon that you're reciting.
Oh, wow.
It's a simple concept. It's easy enough, but you got people involved, so it's not going to. Whenever you have a good idea, once past a certain point where there are too many humans involved, the plan's going to go to crap. It's going to go to pot. This world that you're framing sounds very cool. I like the sound of it. It sounds nice, but that
Corey
thing,
for
it just
president.
sounds nice. In practicality, though, it ain't going to work. Because when you take away all the jobs, you then have a matter of, people still have to pay bills. They still have to put food in their fridge. They still have kids, because there's a whole emphasis of, we still want you to have kids. We need that next generation of wage slaves, so keep going. It's, how do you pay for this stuff?
And let's leave it right there. How you going to pay for this stuff? Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. GEEKCASTER.com. We got deep today. This was great. At some point, we gotta give Corey a chance to come up with something good. I love the fact you think different, Corey, and I'm inspired by hearing you talk because I'm more cynical, and you already know Drew.
But here's the thing. You want to know the crazy part? I would vote for you, Corey, because if it does go to pot, I get to sit there and look at the whole thing happen up close and be like, see?
Right.
See?
Right. I told you so.
I'm going to be the administration.